Muffles' Life Sentence Episode 1 is a fantastic and very interesting and disturbing RPG that certainly deserves more eyes on and could be a very early contender for a sleeper hit of 2025. In the game, we play as Muffles, a recently added convict to a mysterious kind of prison nation. And the prison prides itself on surgically altering all of its convicts into representations of their crime in a way to try and rehabilitate them. Unfortunately for us, we have no memory and our face is quite gone. And we're going to wear a whole lot of other people's faces, get in a lot of fights, and see some weird stuff to solve this mystery. The game has a very interesting look and feel to it. It reminds you of kind of like the cute until it's not tones of Undertale, especially with this game's portrait art, which I would suggest you do not show to any kids unless you want to have a ton of nightmares. Our RPG elements here is that you'll explore the overworld, trying to collect any resources and solve the unusual puzzles that come about. But the main meat of this game is the deck building RPG battles. Muffles can get different faces of the enemies that he kills, which you can then wear and kind of acquire their different abilities, aka cards. Each named character that you, quote-unquote, collect is a deck type onto themselves. One character has enhanced damage cards, but they cost you health to use them. And you're free to mix and match cards, provided you have enough brain matter for it, which kind of operates as kind of like the costs for the cards, which better cards will have a higher brain matter cost. And you're free again to alter or put any cards you want in your deck within certain limitations. Now, this is a game where there are no random encounters, at least from this first episode. Every fight is kind of hard-coded in that respect, and that goes for the rules of combat as well. Enemies have a fixed pattern of attacks they'll do. Now, as an interesting touch, enemies and some of your cards can charge up specific effects. The most common one is that the enemy plays a card and they build up rage. When their rage meter fills up all the way, they'll unleash a very powerful and of course very damaging attack. For you, you can apply Fortify, which is a buff that once the meter fills, the next turn's worth of damage will be completely negated. And you'll need to balance again which cards you have in your deck as well as how offensive defensive you want to make it. You're going to need to make sure you draw enough of those Fortify cards if you expect to be able to block these whammy of attacks. But you could also focus a lot on healing, lifesteal, and just getting health that way and just say screw it to the harder attacks. But again, the choice is going to be up to you. Now as you go through the game, you'll be able to acquire memories of the different characters, which will unlock more story and lore, as well as access to more of their cards. Now, one thing to keep in mind about Muffles' Life Sentence, especially with Episode 1, this game is not designed as an overly long title. If you're hoping for a very meaty RPG or a very intricate and detailed deck builder, that's not this game. We played through the first episode in about 2-ish hours, and the story was certainly very interesting. And the ending definitely starts to show off some more of the advanced concepts and elements that I'm sure will be featured in later episodes. Now, as of the time of me recording this review, Episode 2 is out. When the game was released in early March, it came with both the free Episode 1 and Episode 2 for purchase, and Episode 3 has a planned date for June of 2025. I really enjoy this one. There's definitely a greater than the sum of its parts feel to this one. And if you're a RPG family for another very dark and interesting take on it, then I highly recommend you check out the first episode because again, it is entirely free. So there's not much in terms of nitpicks or complaints about this one if you know what you're getting into when you first play it. The only I think real issue / nitpick that I have with it is that when you're playing cards, it can be a little bit slow. You have to wait for kind of the card to get played, little animation. Same goes for the enemies. There's no super fast forward option. And again, with every battle being hard locked or hard coded, it's not like you're going to be dealing with random encounters. But it can be a little bit annoying when you already know what the pattern is going to be, and it's just you going through the process. In terms of difficulty, I would say this one's on the moderate side. You're only going to have one character on the field at all times, so when you're fighting multiple groups, it can be a little bit dangerous. However, because of the fixed pattern, it's just more about you figuring out what the enemy is going to do and trying to counter them. And once you get access to healing cards, or cards that can even just grant you bonus health on certain actions, it can allow you, in some extent, to out-heal the enemy's damage, and then it's just a matter of whittling their health bars down. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this game goes, and I'm halfway tempted to pick up the second episode and run through that one on stream. But that's going to do it for this review, so this was played with an entirely free key for once. And let me take a your game for a future stream and showcase. Doesn't have to involve prisons, disturbing face imagery, or being completely free. Please reach out. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments, and I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.